Hey guys, so I've been trying to decide what to post on my YouTube channel. Like I said before, for those who are just now watching, hi, my name is Christopher Williams. I am 28 years old and I was born in Washington, D.C., and I was raised in North Carolina. I have two brothers and I was raised fatherless, and the rest of my family resided in Maryland, DC, Virginia, in the DMV area. Some in South Carolina on my father's side and great grandparents' side, and some in Pennsylvania also, but I don't know where they are now. But my family, my main family, is in the DMV area. Um, so when I first started my first YouTube channel, I was posting pretty much everything that I was posting now. So I figured out, why or how some YouTubers became successful with becoming monetized, because I already know the thumbnails. I do know they have included information and music, included with their videos. They also had other platforms that tied into their YouTube channel, like social media, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and it allowed people to come to their YouTube channel because they expose their YouTube channel and had it in different places of on within their platform. If I can speak right. Okay, and then so I started posting videos. It was my very first time, and I got to post everything about saving the church and how parents should raise their child. The child. I was getting ready to say children and then child at the same time. I talked about me, how I was raised, and I also talked about my future goals. And then people was like, well, don't put all that information on there. I'm like, well, how's anybody is supposed to know me? Like, people are supposed to know who I am. That's the whole point of YouTube, but that's not the whole point of YouTube. Is just to get people to view, and it's for someone to view whatever you post on there. As long as they like what you post, that's what it was meant for. But it's YouTube, so I guess that's kind of a metaphor, I guess. I don't know. But I like to post me because I've been living in a box. Well, I have been living in a box. Well, take that back. I've never been living in a box. I just had a family that were living in a box, and I discovered YouTube when it first came out, but I did not join YouTube because everyone was saying, if you get on YouTube, you're going to be sacrificed. If you get on YouTube, they're coming to find you. Look at all these YouTubers that died. Look what's happening to these YouTubers. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to find another way to become successful, because I want a career in journalism, and that was my major in college. I didn't complete college, but that was my major. And so I just started, applying for other jobs to get hands-on experience and things like that throughout my life's journey. After high school, after I graduated high school and after college, I was still applying for news reporter positions, and some of them really didn't ask for that much, but most of them did ask for like education requirements for like college degrees and things like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I left college, I have a high school diploma. I mean, I have the skills and the patience and the talent for it, but I have the willingness to do it, but the requirements. So thank you, Donald Trump, for signing that executive order that issued hiring based on your skills over college degrees. Thank you, Donald Trump. I would like to see that be fulfilled, and I believe it is still being fulfilled. But really, some people who are at work are still going the old way. Like, they're not even trying to allow anyone to come in, even if they really truly desire. Some people may, but I don't think some people really understand that has actually been signed. Like Donald Trump signed that executive order last year, and I watched him sign it on live national television. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Why are people who have the skills for the job that they desire still forced to having to go to school? You know, and some people aren't forced, but yeah, they kind of are still forced to go to school. You know, and I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I'll find another way for me to become successful. Um, and so there was YouTube, and I found YouTube, and then I still was having a hard time being monetized on YouTube because I would post some things, and then some things I'm like, okay, I have wasted all this time. I gave out all my energy. I have basically explained my whole life and everything that I know. But I understand that, you know, the trending topics, they want you to continue to add to that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't even feel motivated anymore. Like, I want to feel motivated. Like, if you give me the audience attention, I will feel motivated and I won't feel like I'm talking to a wall. And then I started seeing people develop this communication tool called StreamYard, and I'm like, yay! I said, oh, I want to do that, and then I believe I got on there. And I'm like, how does this even work? And I got on the app on the phone, and I tried to do it online. I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm logged in wrong or something like that. So I was like, okay, I need to be more creative. And then I kind of like had a slowed down process because I was like, you know what? Y'all are taking too long to monetize me. Just because y'all taking too long to monetize me, I'm going to work, because that's my whole purpose of going on YouTube, is to get income, but to do what I do and love. You know, I wanted to love what I do, and that's what I love to do, is to communicate or just to deliver the news. Like, I believe that being a news anchor or a news reporter is a very good job, and it fits my personality and my characteristics very well. And I believe that, you know, that's the job for me. But it looks like, you know, people want requirements, and I consider that the old Confederate system. Because the new system that's not Confederate, Donald Trump said, no, these people have these skills before 4 to 8 years of college degrees. They have the skills now. Why waste their time? Because when they get finished school, they may not even feel like going to it again. Like, they may not. So that's the reason why. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. so, um, so back to my story. So yes, my name is Christopher Williams. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm 28 years old. I was raised in High Point, North Carolina. My family and I moved to North Carolina in 1999. We moved to Asheboro, North Carolina first. Then we moved to High Point in 2000, early 2000, or late 1999 into the early 2000, because Asheboro, North Carolina had a great hurricane or tornado, and it was flooded, and there were caskets coming up out of the ground, and we just had to move. But yeah, that scared my mother terribly, and I'm pretty sure it would have scared me too, to see a casket riding down the street like that. Like, not riding, but just flowing down the street. You know, that would be very scary. So I was raised fatherless, and I have two brothers. Now, one of my oldest brother is a half brother. We share the same mom, but not that same dad. He was also absent between his family, between his mother and his father. His father had him for a short period of time. Then his mother had him for a short period. Then our mother had him for a short period of time, and that kind of pretty much, made him feel a little bit, unsupportive and shaky. But we all have those issues, or had those issues. Then my brother, of course, we were always raised with our mother, but we were raised with our father for a point in time. We were all living together, and then we were living with our grandmother for a point in time also. And let's see, so by living in North Carolina, I was raised fatherless, like I said, and my brother was too. So we dealt with a single mother. It was very hard while growing up, because we didn't have the things that we really truly needed. We didn't worry about video games or anything like that. Trust me, we were just mature to the point to where, boom. We know what's real. We're already not, we're used to not having these things, so we didn't care about none of that toy stuff that people were playing with. Trust me. Um, we just wanted a nice environment. We just wanted um, um, a friendly environment. That's all we want, because we were children. We wanted a friendly environment. We didn't want the harsh, you know, adult hurry up and grow up and blah blah blah, and we're small. We didn't want that, So that's the reason why people will say that I'm really mature, and I'm pretty sure others who's watching this video are just the same way. So, um, so thankfully I graduated high school, and I went to college. Didn't complete it. I left first semester, second semester, um, because of the math. I have to be honest with you. Yes, I can count. Yes, I'm good at math. Okay, I am very good at math. But I just wasn't going to put all of my effort and time into math when I was ready for my major. I went through high school for that reason. Grade school, middle school, high school. Come on, and then you get to college and you're like, yes, I can take my communications major. Yes, I can be a news reporter and news anchor. Yes, I'm there. Then they say, oh, well, we have to do some electives. Now, I knew this before I got into college, but they polished it to the point to where they're like, you can take this course later on. If when you get into the admissions office, you can let them know, what you want to do, and you can rearrange your own schedule. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. When we got there is no rearranging any schedule. You can rearrange the portion that we give you, which was already, determined, but it was they polished it way more before I went to college. Even at the orientation when I went to college, they polished it. And then when it really hit us, I was like, you won't get to do your major until you finish blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I understand a little bit of geometry and a little bit of algebra, but really, no. Okay, because in real life, we need to learn how to multiply, add, subtract, and divide. Now, and read, and write, and speak proper English. And even if you don't know how to speak proper English, as long as people can understand you, and even if people don't understand you, there are interpreters, and you can go inside of that environment and get the right communication that you need, because people understand you, you see? So it was designed around a Confederate system, and that was my biggest issue, because it was for one particular thing, but what about everything else that a person has within them that they can give to you and make money with? But because of the going to school and being there for years and passing other things that they don't have a passion for will waste time. By the time they get to their passion, they may not even make it, because this was hindering them and stopping them from moving forward. Well, then people might say, oh, you're not good at math, And I'm like, I am good at math. I just chose not to give all of my time to algebra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, geometry, and all this extra stuff that mathematicians have added to the education. And I'm like, we're never ever going to use that in real life. Why are we wasting our time? Now I understand the science of things is geometry. The ways of life, I understand that's algebra. But really, some people they have done very well. I've seen them go to school and finish, but then it's like they never, when they get to the major, they never use any of the things that they were studying for that wasted time. They only remembered what they were taught that they really liked. They didn't really remember anything. And if they did, they were very, very fortunate. They were. But most people that I ran across couldn't even tell you how to do geometry or all the extra stuff related to math that was unnecessary. All they needed to do was calculate how many hours they need to be at work, add that, subtract that by how much their rent was, multiply what, and that's it. And so it wasted a lot of time. So thank you again, Donald Trump, for signing that executive order. Like, literally, thank you. Because there are people out here who have the skills, and it's not like you're just going to hire them. It's like you're going to tell them, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is hands-on. Do it hands-on, and let me see you practice doing it. And if you do a great job, I can sign you for the job. Thank you. Now someone is motivated and they're happy and excited. They may want to learn how to do geometry and algebra and all the extra stuff that they don't need. They're not burnt out. So I'm thankful for Donald Trump for doing that, literally. So back to what I was saying about my YouTube channel. So I went too far, and I was good at doing something else, which I'm not going to explain. And I did get in trouble because I had 3 strikes on YouTube, and I had to leave, unfortunately. And then I ended up creating. Well, that's what they get, because I would have been motivated enough to continue posting things the right way, and not got so creative and done anything like that. That was the issue with YouTube. What do I call that? What I'm getting ready to say. Tell me what I'm getting ready to say. The Confederate system. Thank you. The Confederate system. That's all it was. It was a Confederate system. If they would have just allowed a person to get monetized and paid quicker when they were uploading videos, they didn't need 1,000 subscribers. Or if they did, don't share my content to certain people who you think would. Share it to everybody. Make it as open as Facebook and Twitter for someone to find your page. They would get, their monetization quicker, and they would get paid more. Then you won't have to worry about no one being homeless on the streets. Then you won't have to worry about no one going on YouTube and giving out sob stories because blah, 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 and they needed help, and they could have been using that time to motivate someone because they were motivated. You see, the Confederate system would slow you down. That's what I'm saying. So it was nothing wrong with me. It was something wrong with the old system. So that's what I mean by wasting time. Give us what we deserve, because we are money. We are money. Because when YouTube made this policy about them wanting to pay you for your content, for your videos, speaks volume. It means a lot. So for YouTube to allow you to upload your videos, and they get the video first, and then it uploads for you. So when you upload your video, they take it, zoop, and now you gotta wait for yours to upload, because it's uploaded to YouTube already. Then the second phase, it's uploading for you. So they got your information. Your information is valuable. It's worth so much money, but you don't get paid for it until you get 1,000 subscribers. But by that time, YouTube have already taken your information and made money off of it by taking your information and making a whole movie or a show, or taking and stealing your ideas. But what about giving you money for it? Oh, you need 1,000 subscribers so people can know that your videos, if someone views it, then we'll see if it's valuable. But it is valuable, and you know it is. If it wasn't valuable, you would not offer me money for my video. And that was the whole point. That was the whole point of it. So that pretty much, slowed some things down. But I'm back and I'm posting consistently again. And I would love to be monetized, and that's why I'm going to continue to post. So other than that, I've had some issues by going, and I know people are like, well, make sure you go on YouTube and you say all positive things. And I'm like, okay, I can do that all day, but if I don't get any views, then what? Keep on doing it and keep on doing it? What about posting about what's really going on so I can relate to people? Because when people get monetized, they start posting about what's really going on, even before then. So I'm like, I'm not going to continue to fake for you guys. I'm going to post, because I've been taking some videos down, like delete. I'm like, Chris, why are you taking these videos down? I'm like, because I don't think they're ready for this raw version of me. I don't think that I look good in this video. I don't think that I was calm enough in this video. I don't think that they believe that I would trust. And I was like, Chris, stop being perfect. You don't have to be perfect, okay? And that's the whole point. YouTube, give me my money. Okay? Monetize me. Literally. Because you're getting my information. And I am not a rag doll. Trust me. But I am going to be positive. And I am a positive person. And I always explain my videos. And when people look at my videos, people can tell if someone is a problem or someone's a threat or not. I mean, come on. I wouldn't hurt or fly anybody. I don't have a desire to, but I would like to get monetized, and I don't want anyone to be like, oh, you're being negative right now. How am I being negative? I'm giving you the truth, And I'm not speaking into existence, and I don't want to do that, but I'm just saying, like, I have to give you the real version of me like I've always done. So I deserve to be monetized because I'm giving you the real me. Like, what type of mess is that? But yes, like, I really feel like, but anyways, so after college, I was able to go to work, and I went to different jobs, and I found jobs. I can find jobs from left to right. It's easy to find a job. Is it easy to apply for a job? It's easy to make a resume and send it off. I've been doing that for years. It got to the point to where I know how valuable I am. I know how much money I'm worth. I know how much work I put into the work that I do. So it would be nice to be treated like I am treating other people, very respectfully and nicely and honestly, with integrity, which is the same thing as honesty, and a lot more other things. Oh, and not to mention, if I've already done mention it, which I did already mention it, demonstrating a God-like way. I'm demonstrating God-like characteristics. So that should definitely be honored. No one should want to fire that person. No one should want to terminate that person. No one should want to not want to help that person move up. No one should not want to give that person a raise. No one should not want to let that person get a vacation or a paid vacation. Oh, I had to be here for 10 years for me to. I have demonstrated more Christ-like abilities and characteristics than a person that's been here for 25 years. So I was very confused. I was. So now I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? Well, find another job. And luckily, I was able to find more jobs, but I got sick and tired of just going to another job, dealing with the same thing. Wait a minute. I see something wrong, but I'm going to continue to do my work. But wait a minute. The person who I'm working for sees something wrong with me. But what is it? They want me to move faster than what I'm already moving, but not tell the other people to move faster because they see me moving nonstop, and so they think that it's supposed to be me. And then when I perform, they want me to move faster. But what about getting them? Well, are you scared of them? Well, if you're not, then ask them. Why would you ask me? And then when it's abusive and I go to a human resource manager, or they don't get what they want, even though I've always given them what they want regardless, it's almost like I'm already moving really fast and doing everything you want me to do. Now you want me to speed up? That is extra slavery over top of slavery. For someone to want you to work faster than you're already working, and you're faster than anyone else, that is slavery over top, and that is abuse. Okay, you're supposed to at least give that person a break and say, good job. Instead, you come to that person and tell them to speed up. Now, sometimes they would tell me good job, and sometimes they would say, can you work a little bit faster? I'm like, I'm doing everything. What about asking that person? So that's how I know it was favoritism, and they were terrified of asking another person to do it because they see how nice I was and still am, and they want to, was. Uh, but they see that and they try to take advantage of it. And I'm like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to call you any names. I'm not going to embarrass you like you just tried to embarrass me and tell me to work faster in front of these people, knowing that I'm the best one. I would never do you like that. I come to work on time and I don't miss any days. My production is good. Why would you even do that? Oh, because you're the one that always says yes and go to it and do it, Chris. Well, that's a respectful person that wants to keep their job. Hello? Oh, well, they never seen anyone like you, and because you have presented yourself to do everything that your boss tells you to do, you need to continue to do it. I'm already doing it. It's just that it gets abusive sometimes, and you don't know what to do but to go to human resources and file a complaint. Oh boy. Who goes now? Even though you are in the right, Christopher, and your boss says otherwise, but even though he's wrong or she's wrong, and you have the righteous type of characteristics and attitude and presentation and with the same characteristics and the righteous reports about your production, then who do you think is going to go? The guy that's been there for a year, or the new guy that just got there for about 2-3 months ago, or the guy that's been here for a boss for years but has been running his routine like how he wanted to? Who do you think they're going to let go? The new one. Bloop. They don't have any value. They don't have any value. Even though they have value, they're looked at as not having any value because they haven't been there long enough. They haven't even known the schemes that goes on around the workplace until you got someone who knows where the schemes are coming from and who's allowing the schemes to continue to go on. And I wasn't blind. I know the gospel. I wasn't blind. I'm already not going to harm you. I'm already not going to I don't have a desire. So if you have a desire to harm me by terminating me, that's harmful. Because now I have to worry about going to a shelter or going sleeping in my car or going to stay with a family member who I don't get along with. You have to worry about that stuff. Oh, you think everyone is at work has a great home or great place to go to? They don't. You know what people have to go through just to go to work every day. Now, he thought in certain jobs thought that because I was a nice person, I carried myself respectfully and I respected other people and I treated people right and I did my job and I was really nice, they thought that I had that at home and I didn't. I was the only person. So that made it very, very difficult for me to deal with that at home and people who at work who don't know who Christ is. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, go find another job. I got sick and tired of that, you guys. I got sick and tired. So I just said, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. I am going to find a way to work from home, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And the pandemic hit, and unfortunately, I've been through that for years, Then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and I felt so much better, believe it or not. But I was in the middle of going back to work to try to save up some money to get me a car and, get me some rent because I was always on foot or riding a bicycle or catching a bus for all those years. So, unfortunately, the pandemic hits and I was able to draw unemployment and I felt like I was living in heaven. I said, this is paradise. I can sit back and just get unemployment benefits, and people like to look at that as lazy and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you have no idea what I went through. I needed a break. I already don't have money financially stable from that's. Excuse me. I've always had my own ways of making money, always. Okay, but so far as my family in DC, like my grandmother, who I love them dearly, she was able to where she taught me the gospel. She was more in the word of the gospel, and I was already in that word myself also, but I really, taught myself. I didn't really need anybody, but anybody who had the gospel, I was listening and understanding it and applying it to my life. Okay, no matter what, who was giving it out, radio, television, on a piece of paper, it was applying to my life. Okay. So the thing is that, you know, my mother, she didn't really, she suffered from, a drug problem. She had a drug problem, and um, she was always like broke. So, and when she wasn't broke, she had the money, and then she became broke because she spent it on drugs. So she had a ways of getting money. Trust me. Um, but I had to deal with that. So I already didn't have a financially stable family. So by just having someone to just give me money like that, just coming in, was a blessing. It was a miracle, because I was like, thank you, God. I felt like I've retired and I was getting benefits. I was like, thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to just get this money, and now now I don't have to go in a dangerous environment. I can go get a hotel room, or go pay rent somewhere and be safe. You know, I've been through many shelters and things like that because I didn't have anything really for me to just be like, oh, I can go to work every day, work a regular job, and not have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about getting fired and people not seeing who I am and seeing who it is and who they just fired. Like, do you not see who I am? And some people just had rules and regulations that they were just so entitled to, and they continued to do the same process over and over, that they didn't see themselves getting up out of that environment. And then when I stepped in, it was almost like, oh, God is in here. And I'm like, wait a minute. We all are supposed to act like God. I mean, we all can be ourselves. We all are sinners. But why am I any different from anyone else? I'm the nicest person to get along with. I always do what you tell me to do. And it was just like, every job I went to, I would work fast and good, but they wanted me to pick the speed up. And I'm like, you don't even tell this person don't even work fast. And it's like, well, Chris, whenever you're a person that says, okay, yes, I'll go do it, yes, all the time, they expect for you to do that. But it's like, wow, you guys really not going to respect for me to keep my job, and you're going to let me leave? Oh, that's because they're used to the same environment and they don't plan on leaving. So that was the reason why. So that's pretty much my life. So I just thought I'd let you guys know a little bit about me, and I pretty much just summed up my entire life. So I thought it was necessary for me to give you guys that information. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all love this message, and I hope to see you guys later on. Take care.